Well, and there's not just stuff happening in the hall. There's a lot of extracurricular activities as well. I went to the Bar Cube last night. I went to the local game store, Misty Mountain, on Wednesday when I got in. There's going to be karaoke tonight. There's the farmer's market tomorrow morning. There's a lot packed into this weekend.
I'm excited to see you perform karaoke. I need to see what you're going to get up on stage and do for us.
And that's not going to be on stream, folks. You got to come here live if you want to see something like that, all right?
Yeah.
There's something a little uncouth. Dare I say, it lacks decorum to be playing against Dana in her Nissa cosplay and to be wielding forests and green creatures against her.
And doing some dangerous things with them at that. These doubled triggers are going to be really, really troublesome for Dana.
I believe this is a mana weft sliver.
Only 1 or 2 removal spells in the deck, so I mean, this is just gonna, the value is just gonna continue to compound.
This is just kind of insane. Like, so basically, every creature, like, it just doesn't matter what they are. Every creature Paul plays, he reveals the top 2 cards, and every land goes into play.
That's right.
He's built his own Nadu. He doesn't even have to target. He's just Naduing all over the place. Well, not only that, one of the keywords you were bemoaning Rachel's lack of in the last match was haste.
Need that.
Rhythm of the Wild gonna supply that in droves this game.
Need that.
Lay of Sky Knight, lock down a PB Druid, a peanut butter Druid, we used to call it back in the day. I think I was the only one who ever called it that. That's going to trigger Hero of Precinct 1 as well. Did he just do it? It's a 9/9? Is he just...
Unless we got a counter spell in hand.
Stop it.
Unless we got something in hand.
No, we don't. We have Vraska in hand.
Oh.
Scoop him up. Jacob steals it.
There it is. Jacob.
What a top deck.
Wow. Do it.
Yeah, he's like, are you tapped out? We're good.
All right,
Fire
good.
you. Sack Ren.
There it is.
Rondez.
There
what
it
a
is.
match. Holy cow. It doesn't quite work if you only have the one piece and you're like, I didn't draw Tyvar Stand, wasn't able to do it. He had 4 or 5 different ways to go, oops, 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 sorry. Wild.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. You know, I had some folks being like, wait, really? You're going to be doing mono red cube on coverage? This cube rules. This cube is really fun. As you can see, it's not just an aggro cube. There is a lot of, I mean, sure, there's aggro, there's burn, don't get me wrong. There's prowess, there's goblins, as you mentioned. There's go wide, there's anthem effects. There's also big red. There's also wildfire control with mana rocks. There's also storm combo. There's goblin welder combos to get large artifacts out of the graveyard, swap those, trash for treasure, that sort of thing. There is a lot going on in this cube. A buddy of mine just 3-0'd this cube to get himself into top 128. He faced off against Caleb Durward. Here's how he won. He mind-slavered his opponent and had him crack a Shrine of Burning Rage that had 21 counters, targeting himself. Karizev is really annoying to deal with. The 3 toughness is
First
kind
strike.
of a break. Well, certainly that, but I'm just thinking in terms of burn spells. There's a lot of 1 mana deal 2s. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of deal 4s that are 3 mana, right?
That's right.
There's a handful of 2 mana deal 3s, but I'm just thinking of in terms of dealing with Karizev efficiently for the same or less mana. It doesn't come up a lot, and Robert's got the lightning bolt, so there's basically chain lightning and then a handful of, incinerate, lightning strike, etc. And cube is often, it's often for fun, it's often expressive, but we've also got something on the line here.
That's right.
Snoop, there it is. Am I right?
No.
What? No good?
Just fine.
All right,
actually.
just fine. A solid C. 11 is relevant here. This does mean the flashback on Reckless Charge is 3, though, right?
It is 3. That's right. So an expensive play. You pay red 1 time, and then you got to pay 3, and that's 4 of a 6 land here. Doesn't leave a lot of room for anything else.
The Flame Rift could draw the game. could draw the game with Flame Rift. Oh, I think it actually is Flame Rift. Oh my god!
Are we gonna do it?
I think this is a draw.
Oh man!
So Karizev is a 7-power menace. I swear I did not know that, folks.
Flame Rift, dealing 4 damage to each player. Robert Taylor will take himself out while also taking down Mike Schmidt if he's able to get through with this damage.
Stop it. I think it was.
Do it.
I think it
was. This is juicy. This is juicy.
And Wheel of Fortune.
So we're wheeling and dealing. Discard our hand.
The
Draw a
last
new
card in
set.
Corey's hand was Wildfire. He's happy to get a fresh grip. J-Bro had, I believe, 5 cards in hand. I'm sure he's happy to have 2 more, but perhaps had plans with those initial 5. And here's Mox Opal and Sensei's Divining Top. So Mox is online. Corey's popping off here. The very exciting thing today, Rondez, as I'm looking out to our top 64 competitors, we have a lot of big names. We have Caleb Durward is still in it, Zach Allen, Gavin Verhey, who we featured earlier this week, Tom Martell, Jonathan Brostoff, our president, commander-in-chief here of CubeCon. He's battling. And Luis Salvato is our feature drafter. I'm not sure how often it is that someone who put a card into the Pro Tour Cube, drafts the Cube. Luis Salvato being Pro Tour Rivals of Ixalan champion with Ensnaring Bridge I'm seeing in the list, Mox Opal, and I believe those 2 cards are courtesy of him. But as we saw in the Mono Red Cube, land count is a consideration in these aggressive red decks.
Right.
And so if you end up running only 15 lands and keeping the curve low, do you want that 5-drop? Do you want that X-Spell? Remains to be seen. Especially when you think about Strip Mine as part of that mana base, as Salvato does seem to be doing. You often just count that as a spell in the deck.
Some outlets for that big mana.
We're time spiraling with Tron.
Not just extra turn spells. We also got Ulamog. We got Ugin, as you mentioned. Once we get there.
This is incredible. I would say that I'm afraid because it's something that happens to me when I draft a sweet deck like this. Is game 1, everything goes swimmingly. It plays out exactly how I want, and then I never win another game. But this is Brandon's second game. He's already up a game, and his deck is popping off. That gives me real hope. Brandon is certainly winning this game.
To say the least.
How that ends up happening has not been presented yet.
Right.
But he's ahead in every metric other than life, and I would say he'd be worried about the 1 ring. But he's got upheaval to reset it, should that be something we need to do. Oh my gosh. So going back to loving to see Magda pop off in the Changeling Cube that we got to see.
Day 1.
We saw a kind of Nadu engine assembled as well in that cube. That was really powerful to see with Risen Reef.
That's right.
Planeswalkers galore in the World War of the Spark Cube. Love to see the spectrum of decks that the Mono Red Cube had to offer last night. And I mean, it's obvious, but I'll say it again. I enjoyed, I will be a Tron apologist, I enjoyed watching the Tron lands pop off in today's Pro Tour Cube.